Om Namo Narayanaaya. Om Namo Narayanaaya. Om Namo Narayanaaya. Welcome, respected friends, for our morning classes on Upanishad and Gita. Shwethashwathara Upanishad, fourth chapter we started. Beautiful. Reminder, repetition of the Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana, which is very essential. Then that Atman, the Brahman alone is everything. That's what is being told to us, taught to us, for us to listen, contemplate, understand, and do the abhyasa, and be in that state of experience only, to be in the Mukta Sthiti. We will be continuing the study of that. Before that, we'll have our Veda Mantrocharana, the common sense thought, as we do every day. We started yesterday the chanting of the Rigveda mantras. Seventh mandala, second Anuvaka we saw. Today let us do the third Anuvaka. It has got Narayana 10 mantras. Fourth Anuvaka, it has got 10 mantras. Fifth Anuvaka, it has got 9 mantras. Sixth Anuvaka, it has got 7 mantras. So 3, 4, 5, 6. These 4 we can do in 6 to 7 minutes. Let us chant. Hope please you are sent the link. Open it. Be ready every day. ॐ अथ ऋग्वेदपारायणम् अथ सप्तममण्डलम् तृतीयानुवाकः तृतीयोऽनुवाकः ॐ अग्निं वो देवमग्निभिः सजोषाय ज्येष्ठं दूतमध्वरे कृणुध्वम् यो मर्त्येषु निद्रुविर्वृता वातपुर्मूर्धा घृतान्नः पावगः प्रोतदश्वो नयवसे विश्यन्यदामः संवरणात् व्यस्थात् आदस्य वातो अनुवाति शोचिरदस्मते व्रजनं कृष्णमस्ते उद्यस्य ते नवजातस्य वृष्णोऽग्ने चरन्त्यजरा इधानाः अच्छाद्यामरुषो धूम एति सं दूतो अग्न ईयसे हि देवान् वियस्य ते पृथिव्यां पाजो अश्रेत्तृषु यदन्नासमवृक्तजम्भैः सेनेव सृष्टा प्रसितिष्ठ एति यवं न दस्म जुह्वा विवेक्षी तमिद्धोषा तमुषसि यविष्टमग्निमत्यं न मर्जयन्त नरः निशिशान अतिथिमस्य योनौ धीदाय शोचिराहुतस्य वृष्णः सुसन्दृक्ते स्वनीकप्रतीकं वियदृक्मो न रोचस उपाके दिवो न ते तन्यतुरेति शुष्मश्चित्रो न सूरः प्रतिचक्षिभानुं यथा वस्वाहाग्नये दाशेम परीडाभिर्घृतवद्भिश्च हव्यैः तेभिर्नो अग्ने अमितैर्महोभिः शतं पूर्भिरायसीभिर्निपाहि यावा ते सन्ति दाशुषे अदृष्टा गिरो वा याभिर्नुवतीरुरुष्याः ताभिर्नः सूनो सहसो निपाहि स्मत्सूरीञ्जरितॄञ्जातवेदः निर्यत्पूते वस्वतिः शुचिर्गात् स्वया कृपा तन्वा रोचमानः आयो मात्रोरुषेण्यो जनिष्ठदेव यज्ञाय सुक्रतुः पावकः एतानो अग्ने सौभगादिदीह्य विक्रतुं सुचेतसं व्रतेषु वतेम विश्वास्तोतृभ्यो गृणते च सन्तु यूयं पात स्वस्तिभिः सदा नः फोर्थ वन प्रवः शुक्राय भानवे भरध्वं हव्यं मतिं चाग्नये सुबोधं यो दैव्यानि मानुषा जनोंष्यन्तर्विश्वानि विद्मना जिगाति सगृत्सो अग्निस्तरुणश्चिदस्तु यतो यविष्टो अजनिष्टमातुः संयोवना युवतेषु चिदन्भूरिचिदन्ना सविदत्ति सद्यः अस्य देवस्य संसद्यनीकेयं मर्ता सह शेतं जगृभ्रे नियोगृभं पौरुषेयीमुवोच दुरोकमग्निरायवे शुशोच अयं कविरकविषुप्रचेतामर्तेष्वग्निरमृतो निधायि समानो अत्र जुहुरः सहस्वस्य धात्वे सुमनसस्याम आयो योनिन्देवकृतं प्रसाद कृत्वा ह्यग्निरमृता अतारीत तमोषधीश्च वनिनश्च गर्भं भूमिश्च विश्वदाय संविभर्ते ईशे ह्यग्निरमृतस्य भूरेरीशे रायः सुवीर्यस्य दातोः मात्वा वयं सहसा वन्नवीरामाप्सवः परिषदा ममादुवः परिषद्यं हिरण्यस्य रेखृणो नित्यस्य रायः पतयस्याम न शेषो अग्ने अन्यजातमस्त्यचेतानस्य मापतो विदुक्षः न हि ग्रभायारणः सुषेवोऽन्योदर्यो मनसा मन्तवा ओ अधाचिदोकः पुनरि स एतान्यो एत्यानो वाज्यभीषाणे तु नव्यः त्वमग्ने वनुष्यतो निपाहि त्वमुनः सहसा वन्नवद्यात् सन्त्वाध्वन्वस्वदभ्येतुः पातः संरयिः स्पृहयाय्यः सहस्रे एतानो अग्ने सौभगादिदीह्यपि क्रतुं स्वचेतसंवतेम विश्वास्तोत्रुभ्यो गृणते च सन्तु यूयं पातः स्वस्तिभिः सदा नः। फिफ्थ वन प्राज्ञये तवसे भरद्भङ्गिरन्दिवो अरतये पृथिव्याः यो विश्वेषाममृतानामुपस्थे वैश्वानरो वावृते जागृवद्भिः पृष्टो दिविध्याय्यग्धाय्यग्निः पृथिव्यान्नेता सिन्धूनां वृषभः स्त्रियानां समानुषीरविविशो न विभाति वैश्वानरो वावृधानो वरेण तद्भिया विष आयन्नसि क्नीरसमना जहतीर्भोजनानि वैश्वानरपोरवेशो शुचानः पुरो यदग्ने दरयन्न दीदेः तव त्रिधातुः पृथिवी उत द्यौर्वैश्वानरव्रतमग्ने सचन्त त्वं भासा रोदसी आततन्ताजश्रेण शोचिषा शोषुचानः त्वामग्ने हरितो वावशाना गिरः सचन्ते दुनयो घृताचैः पतिं कृष्टीनां रथ्यं रयीणां वैश्वानरमुषसां केतुमह्नां त्वे असुर्यं वसवो द्युण्वन् क्रतुं हिते मित्रमहो जुषन्त तं दस्यूगं रोकसो अग्न आज उरुज्योतिर्जनयन्नार्याय स जायमानः परमे व्योमन् वायुर्नः पातः परिपासि सद्यः त्वं भुवना जनयन्नभिक्रन्नपत्याय जातवेदो दशस्यन्न तामग्ने अस्मे इषमेरयस्व वैश्वानरद्युमतीं जातवेदः यया राधः पिन्वसि विश्ववारपृथुश्रवो दाशुषे मर्त्याय तन्नो अग्ने मघवद्भ्यः पुरुक्षं रयिं निवाजं श्रुत्यं युवस्व वैश्वानरमहिनः शर्म यच्छद् रुद्रेभिरग्ने वसुभिः सजोषाः। सिक्स्थ वन प्रसम्राजो असुरस्य प्रशस्तिं पुंसः कृष्टीनामनुमाद्यस्य इन्द्रस्यैव प्रतव संस्कृतानि वन्दे दारुं वन्दमानो विवक्मि कविं केतुं दासिं भानुमद्रेर्हिन्वन्ति शं राज्यं रोदस्योः पुरन्दरस्य गीर्भिरा विवासेऽग्नेर्व्रतानि पूर्व्या महानि न्यक्रतून् ग्रथिनो रुद्रवाचः पणीरश्रद्धा अवृधा अयज्ञान् प्रप्रतान्दस्यूरग्निर्विवाय पूर्वश्चकारापरागम् अयज्योन यो अपाचीने तमसि मदन्तीः प्राचीश्चकारनृतमश्चीभिः तमीशानं वस्वो अग्निं गृणीशेनानतं दमयन्तं पृतन्योन यो देह्यो अनमयद्व धस्नैर्यो अर्यपत्नी ऋषसश्चकार स निरुध्यानहुषो यह्वो अग्निर्विश्वश्चक्रे बलिहृतः सहोभिः यस्य शर्मन्नुपविश्वे जनास एवैस्तस्तुः सुमतिं भिक्षमाणाः वैश्वानरो वरमारोदस्योराग्निः ससाद पित्रोरुपस्थम् आ देवो ददे बुद्ध्या वसूनि वैश्वानर उदिता सूर्यस्य आसमुद्रादवरादा परस्मादाग्निर्दधे देव आपृथिव्याः ॐ शान्तिः 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 6 we have done from 7. Tomorrow we will do, friends. Today's common sense thought is very simple. First point is be conscious about these thoughts. First is other than ourselves, who else will have the thought that I should grow spiritually, I should evolve, I should realize the essential self. Who can have this thought for us? And even if someone else has that thought for us, how can it help us unless we ourselves have that thought? Not only for the spiritual evolution, even for everything else in the world. I have to have the thought that I must be educated, I must be intelligent, I must be employed well, I must earn good wealth, I must live a comfortable, decent life. This is the first, foremost basic thought. Who can have this for us? Maybe the parents have, maybe the Guru and God always have these very good thoughts for us only. But how does it help me? Is it not that it is I who should have those thoughts? And worldly way we have it. That's why we work also, we earn also. We really make a good standard of living also, standard of life. Na? That's anyway people do it. We are now focusing on our subject of spirituality. Who should have this thought? Na? That I must be established in the beautiful outer lifestyle of Karma Yoga. I must be established in the wonderful, joyous life of Bhakti Yoga. I must be in this beautiful, decent Chitta Vritti Nirodha Yoga Sthiti. Who else will have this thought if not me? Think about it. So, it is I who have to study the Upanishads, understand the sublime theme in that, reach to that stage. If I myself do not have that push, who else can help me? And like if Arjuna doesn't have that yat shreyasyath nishchitam brohi te shishya aham mam shadhi. See, tell me firmly, I am your disciple. You instruct me, educate me. Lord Krishna, with all his wisdom, being with Arjuna for such a long time, yet he will not give that knowledge, nor Arjuna will receive it or take it, because there is no seeking from within himself only, isn't it? Therefore, the first thing where we have to see we improve ourselves is we have to have consciously this ichha for ourselves. Develop it, make it so strong that it consumes and overpowers all our other ichhas or desires or wants. And a simple common sense thought is what? Desire for the world and worldly things is stronger. We will do those things only. That's what is the state of affairs today. And if someone in our observance, we see that they are relentlessly working only for their spiritual evolution. That means their heart is overwhelmingly overpowered by the desire to know the truth more than anything else. Let us observe it and learn from them. First point of the day. Who else can have, other than me, the thought desire for my own spiritual evolution? And how much strong it must be. So the answers are I must have. Second, it should be so strong that it consumes all other desires, priorities. Think. And it has nothing to do with the age, with the time, with the things. It can be there for a young man and he can take up fully the spiritual course. It may not be there in an oldest man. Still, he can be absolutely world. It is one's own personal effort preceded by feeling the need of it. I feel the need of it and I put the effort and I come to that stage of mind that it is I will have to do my sadhana for my own spiritual evolution. है ना? बच्चे के अंदर से मुझे पढ़ना है थॉट नहीं आता तो पेरेंट्स ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स एनी नंबर ऑफ पीपल फोर्स हिम the school teachers, the tuition teachers, the brothers, sisters, वो नहीं पढ़ेगा. Oh, from within if it comes, and nobody can stop him. Isn't it? So the first thought I should feel that need that from within me only I should have that desire, the choice. That I have to grow spiritually. And it should be so much consuming. है ना? जैसे कि our Bharat Mata should have the freedom from the clutches of these Britishers. This thought was so overpowering that thousands and lakhs of Hindus, Indians, all of them gave up their nidra, their ahara, their other bhoga, all other duties, goals, that they even were ready to sacrifice their lives for Bharatamata. That abilities were there all in everyone. But these people had that consuming thought that we should get freedom, therefore they could do all that. Same way as we saw in Uttarakanda, Tulsi Ramayanam, Sri Rama telling all the Vanaras that you give up your sukha, your kutumba, your every vivahara for my sake to serve me. I am indebted to you so much, you are more dear to me than anybody else. Bhagavan Rama says. So in those Vanaras, from Sugriva onwards, everybody, to help Rama in that Sita Anveshana and Ravana Samhara, the thought was so strong, consuming, that all of them left their comfort places, zones, went near to the ocean, then made the bridge, crossed, fought with such terrible Rakshasas. ये देखो इतना कैसा हो पा रहा है? Isn't it? First is that one. That it is I who have to have the Tivra Jignasa Moksha. Technical words. How much it has happened in me. How much I am consumed by that thought. If this is not there, all other things will be very gross, very mechanical, very with half mind and half heartedness. There will be no concentration, no sincerity in any of these spiritual attempts. If this first thing is not properly answered or understood. Think. In a day's time of 24 hours, कितने बार this thought has come to us कि I must grow spiritually, I must do my sadhana. Only in the class, that also for a minute or two, again सारा वो inspiration ठंडा हो. Like on the day of festivals, Janmashtami, Ramnavami, Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Sri Rama, we say. But agle din, there is Jaykar only to our own ego. We forget the Rama Krishna till again their happy birthday comes. है ना? On 26 जनवरी 15 अगस्त झंडा वंदन करते हैं. Thereafter country is not removed. Not remembered, sorry, not remembered. Not remembered, and self security, self progress, everything that alone is minded. ऐसा नहीं होता ना. One point is discussed. Now the second is very, very important. After the first very, very important thing is discussed. That if at all we want really to grow spiritually, how many sadhanas we have to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This topic is discussed yesterday, day before in our common sense thought, so that I will not elaborate. But Anushangika thought to that we will discuss today. That why we are not able to even note down those sadhanas that are to be done. Even if noted, why we are not able to take up one by one and do them with utmost seriousness, sincerity, and application. The same question put in another form is Ki, think for each of us ourselves. In how many things we are lost in how many things we are caught up so much, drowned in so much, lost in so much, in so many things that even little thought for our spiritual sadhana, the feelings for our spiritual sadhana, the intent for the sadhana, the desire to grow, not even popping up. In how many things we are caught up. This is main discussion today. Each one will have to think for oneself. And then how many of them are unwanted obstacles, which are in fact taking us away from our spiritual sadhana. Each of us will have to. In how many things we are caught up. Then is it not required for us by ourselves to bring ourselves out of all those bindings? And then only one by one sadhana to be done, we will be able to do. Isn't it? Think. And those things we are caught up in them, we are not even aware that we are caught up in that. So much we are drowned in that daldal. And even if someone tries to tell us, Bhaiya, this is your goal, this is what you have to walk, instead of that, we are exactly doing the opposite things. If some kind, compassionate acharyas or gurus or well wishers try to tell us, spiritual well wishers, we have all the intelligence and audacity to justify. See how innocent we are, isn't it? Out of modesty, I am using that word. How innocent we are in that regard, we justify. And some of us are more innocent that they won't give chance to the guru or the acharyas to say. They themselves decide and command the acharya or guru to accept. खबरदार मैं जो कर रहा हूं तुमको एक्सेप्ट कर. That much innocent, ignorant, arrogant we are. In other words, you add. How many of us, how many times we do so? Isn't it? These are the malinatas in our personality, in our life, in our expression. They have to be eliminated. And think about it. First of all, we are lost in our tamoguna. That tamoguna is of two types. One is excessive sleeping at the body level, sense level, mind level. The second tamoguna is non-thinking with the intellect, not awakening the intellect at all. Who should discriminate? We should do the vivek about what is to be achieved, how to achieve, what not to be achieved, therefore how to refrain from that. पहले तो ये है वी आर इन दैट तमोगुण काटअप. सोचना ही नहीं, बस छोड़ ही दिया हमने सोचना. We have vikaras more, not vichar. We are worries more and not vichar. And worrying and having all emotions and all our, they are not. Vicharana hi karna. First thing is, we are caught up in tamoguna. Discover it. Then think for oneself as to how to come out of it. एक बार सोचना शुरू करते हैं, हेल्प लेना शुरू करते हैं, then we start walking the path. We can help ourselves, we can develop ourselves. Then the second things, set of the rajoguna things, in how many we are caught up, we feel comfortable in that, we justify them, we become sentimental about them, we don't want to leave them at all. Then how can we have time, energy, even the thoughts of the mind, intellect for the spiritual sadhana? फिर कहाँ जा रहा है दिन पूरा? Without even few thoughts for the spirituality. How much all consumingly we are worldly. Each one has to think for oneself. And how long it should be. From millions of lives we are doing like that. If we want to continue it, nobody can stop us. Our choice it is. No God, no Guru on the surface of the earth, under the sky, have any compulsion to impose on us. ये अपना है. So, see few of the things. Genuinely, honestly, unbiasedly, without sentiments, intellectually, just for the sake of observance. And like as we said, on the name of duties. In how many things and how long? As if spiritual sadhana is not a duty. Isn't it? Then how many of the sentiments and emotions we are caught up in? As if we should not have the emotions and sentiments for the spiritual sadhana. Think how many of the obligations we attend to every day, as if we are not obliged to the God and Guru and Paramatma Tattva. Isn't it? Think about it. How many of the activities we plan throughout the day, as if the spiritual activities plans are relentless, are they redundant, as if are they not required or what? How much of the sweating, toiling, running we do around in pleasing the people, very important one, in trying to make them our own, in trying to express our so-called love for them, rubbish which is, as if we should not please the divine, and as if we should not sweat and toil for our upasanas, for our japadi sadhanas. Here, little we have to do, then we are tired and exhausted. And there घंटों घंटों लगे. मीन्स 2 मिनट क्लास में बैठने से थक जाते हैं, पर 10 घंटे 10 लोगों को देने में हम नहीं थकते हैं. And after all, first of all, overall, above all of that is delusion. All of that is illusion. All of that is mental projection. All of that is just to bind us on. And nobody dare to tell these things to us, nor we understand it. We become emotional, sentimental if somebody points out. See, in how many things, like a patient going to the doctor, checked, doctor has diagnosed. He has got every disease possible on the world, in the world for a human body. Isn't it? सारे ऐसा कोई कौन सी बीमारी नहीं है डॉक्टर साहब मुझे, मैं वही ढूंढ रहा हूँ कि कौन सी नहीं है, सब है. In the same way, we as a human beings are at the mind level, so many bimaris of the worldliness we have. Naturally, then how can there be even thought or desire or sentiment or emotion or feeling for the Adhyatmikata? Without these basic things, how can we pour ourselves relentlessly, fully into this sacred work of all Adhyatmic sadhanas? Think about it. Then the other things called as our own bhoga. We want to have so much of bhoga for our tongue, bhoga for our eyes, isn't it? Itna वो consume कर रहा है हमारा time energy and same things repeated. And it is so emotional, so sentimental. Whereas that food, breakfast, lunch, dinner में होना ही चाहिए. So whole mind is caught up in that, in preparing them, in getting them, preparing them, consuming them, isn't it? हाँ स्वामी जी ने भोजन के बिना हम कैसे जी सकते? देखो the justification. Once we defeat our gurus, acharyas, with our pseudo intellect in justifying what we do, then we have destroyed ourselves. हो गया फिर, है ना? On the name of gathering information from the world, what's happening, on the name of some entertainments. In how many things we are caught up, isn't it? इतने में पूरा जिंदगी जारी है, तो then naturally slightest inclination also for the adhyatmikata will not be there. अरे इतना विगरस डिजायर होना चाहिए स्पिरिचुअलिटी के लिए, उसका फर्स्ट स्टेप ऑफ इंक्लिनेशन आल्सो इफ यू डोंट हैव, then when will we start traveling and when will we reach the spiritual destination? बताओ भाई. Isn't it? And then so many other things. My body has to be healthy, therefore I have to go to that exercise, that doctor, these things. And they have beautiful logical justifications. चल ठीक है, हेल्दी हो, फिर उस टाइम को तो यूज इट फॉर परमात्मा. नो, विथ हेल्दी बॉडी we go everywhere for all other obligations and all, not for sadhana. It's not an akshepana, it is only introspection, atma parishilana. I am asking to myself that in one day of 24 hours, how much of my body, mind, intellect are applied for the Adhyatmikata, how much of that is applied for anything other, isn't it? 10%, 90%. Then how can I expect that the spiritual openings will happen, the spiritual unfoldments will happen? अगर उसका भी हमको उसका भी ख्याल फीलिंग नहीं है कि आई एम नॉट ग्रोइंग स्पिरिचुअली, that sense of guilt also is not there. Sense of feeling is not there. We are so reckless about it, like the child. वो एग्जाम में उसको डी ग्रेड मार्क्स आए, रियली डी ग्रेडिंग, एंड ही इज नॉट इवन फीलिंग दैट यार एटलीस्ट बी ग्रेड सी ग्रेड तो आ जाए, है कि नहीं? देन व्हाट एनीबॉडी कैन डू टू दैट फेलो, वो जो कहता है चलता है, चल ठीक है, आई एम डिग्रेडिंग एंड माय ग्रेड आल्सो डिग्रेड. थिंक if somebody is justifying till 12 o'clock without taking the bath, how ऐसे buffalo को who can do what? The one who spends for years together without even doing proper puja in the puja room, and he justifies, who can tell him? है कि नहीं? Very essential things, they're all. In how many things we are caught up. This is what is the main topic today. Then it is whose responsibility to bring oneself out of all those snares, all those nets, all those webs, all those quicksands, है ना? Who will have to bring oneself out of them? ये सब मिलकर टेक्निकली संसार कहते हैं वेद आध्यात्मिक भाषा में. स्वयं ही हम फंसे हुए सब में, isn't it? Even some of us little try to sit on meditation or japa, उस समय भी Not even a nishtha to do that sadhana for 1 hour. Even in that 1 hour, 55 minutes are gone only in worrying about the world and worldly things, worldly experiences, worldly activities, worldly people. अब फिर से वही, isn't it? That much we are intoxicated by the world and worldliness. So ध्यान में बैठे फिर भी लोग ही याद आ रहे, उनके साथ एक्सपीरियंसेस ही याद आ रहे, हुए वाले एक्सपीरियंस, होने वाले एक्सपीरियंसेस. अरे then where is your आत्मचिंतन, where is your तत्व चिंतन, where is your effort to become aware of the awareness inside? Very crucial discussion. Unless we understand this fact that we are obliged more to the truth and the reality, we have to be committed, we should have the duty for the Paramatma Tattva from within. We cannot bring ourselves out of samsara. That's the meaning of Sarvadharman Parityajya. Mamekam Sharanam Braja. What are we doing? Paramatmanam Parityajya and all the nonsense Sharanam Braja. Isn't it? Like Arjuna says as a reply to Lord Krishna, have you heard, contemplated, understood? Has your delusion gone? Arjuna says, Nashto moha smrutir labdha. All my delusion gone. Now I am with full my memory of my wisdom regarding my kartavya. And we are absolutely opposite. What is it? Not Nashto moha smrutir labdha. Ours is Nashto smrutihi moha labdha. No wisdom, sir. How much ever you shout, and no even little coming out of the moha, delusion. And we become sentimentally egoistic to justify it. Most funniest thing in the mediocre minded people is this. Sentimentally egoistic they become to justify. Try to catch this word. मेरे से नहीं हो रहा, मैं छोड़ नहीं पा रहा हूँ. These are all sentiments. And there is an ego. What is the ego there? Therefore, आप कुछ भी कहो मैं आपको सुनूंगा नहीं. मैं जो है वही करता रहूंगा. That's the ego. We think the gurus have not observed it. They have understood it. This fellow is sentimentally egoistic. Others are arrogantly egoistic, intellectually egoistic. एक एक बंदा का ईगो एक एक तरह का होता है. And many of us are sentimentally egoist. In that we try to stop the Guru's upadeshas, advices. Isn't it? Think about it. It is we who have to awaken. Right? Sometimes the place change will help us. Go to a secluded place. Take your laptop, your books, pens, 1 month or 15 days. Just regain the poise. Regain the tuning to the truth. Regaining the tuning to the spiritual life. Isn't it? ऐसे कुछ करो. क्या करने से होता है बस सोच लो अभी. Everything spoon feeding will not happen and it won't work also. We have to awaken from our slumber of intellect to think and understand and start committing, start doing the things. Many things directly told, some are indicated. Wise people understand all that. Right, friends? Let us help ourselves in this world. Other than spiritual sadhana and growth, nothing is worthy. Nobody is important. Within us, that clarity if doesn't come, we become sentimental fools only to have emotions about every nonsense. Such person, how can he sharpen his intellect, make it subtler, tune it toward the Shastras, through the Shastras, through the Shastrokta Jnana, through that jnana to the self, the reality, the moksha giving Brahmanubhuti, yeto far of distant things only to such a sentimental person. You know? Not even sentimental. Long back, the senti is gone. No, mental only. Om. 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 Om Sahanavavadu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Om Sarishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Irime Guruvi Purvam Padavakya Pramanata Vyakyata Sarva Vedanta Nityam प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ गुरुपुङ्गवपुङ्गवकेतनते समतामयतां नहि कोऽपि सुधीः शरणागतवत्सलतत्त्वनिधे भव शङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्। ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि। ओम परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदाचार्येभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यमूतेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्षकैवल्यप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्तिष्वध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थं सनातनधर्म संस्थापकानां निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिवकृष्णादि समस्त मंदिरादीनां पुनर्वाप्तितेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययन अध्यापनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तर शत्रु निर्मूलन द्वारा शाश्वत रूपेण वैदिक हिंदू संस्कृतेः सुसंप्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थं विश्व मोक्षधर्म पुरुषार्थ प्रतिष्ठा विश्व संरक्षणाभिवृद्ध्यर्थं अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्म भक्ति भगवत भक्ति देवता गुरु शास्त्र सत्संग साधना सेवा माता पितृ देश धर्म सनातन धर्म भक्ति आदीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये कृष्ण यजुर्वेद श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम नित्यानंद निराधारं निखिलाधारम् अव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकण्ठं नमाम्यहम्। ओम सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः। Friends, chant from the sixth mantra to 10th mantra for Parayanam, fourth chapter. ओम द्वासुपर्णा सयुजा सखाया समानं वृक्षं परिषस्व जाते तयोरन्यः पिप्पलं स्वादुवत्ति अनश्नन्नन्यो अभिचाकशैति समाने वृक्षे पुरुषो निमग्नः अनीशया शोचति मुह्यमानः जुष्टं यदा पश्यति अन्यमीशम् अस्य महिमानमिति वीतशोकः रुचो अक्षरे परमे व्योमन् यस्मिन् देवा अधिविश्वे निषेदुः यस्तं न वेद किं रुचा करिष्यति य इत्तद्विदुस्त इमे समासते छन्दांसि यज्ञाः क्रतवो व्रतानि भूतं भव्यं यच्च वेदा वदन्ति अस्मान्मायी सृजते विश्वमेतत् तस्मिंश्चान्यो मायया सन्निरुद्धः मायां तु प्रकृतिं विद्यात् मायिनं च महेश्वरम् तस्यावयवभूतैस्तु व्याप्तं सर्वमिदं जगत्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। फर्स्ट मंत्र ब्यूटिफुल of the चतुर्थः अध्यायः in which Because it is Durvigneya, the Atma Vastu, again and again, the Swarupa of this Atma, the Lakshanas of the Atman, the glory of this Atman, the result when we realize that Atman, the techniques to realize the qualification for that, these are the main topics of the Adhyatmika Shastra or Moksha Marga again and again discussed. We also have no other job than this as sacred to do if we are really matured. Right, friends? तो गहनत्वाद अस्य अर्थस्य भूयो भूयो वक्तव्यः इति चतुर्थः अध्याय आरभ्यते. The spiritual knowledge is so sublime, so subtler, unless it is repeatedly told, one cannot understand it. Therefore, to do the same, the fourth chapter starts. The first mantra was य एको अवर्णो बहुधा शक्तियोगात् वर्णाननेकान् निहितार्थो ददाति विचैति चान्ते विश्वमादौ स देवः स नो बुद्ध्या शुभया संयुनक्तो य एको वर्णनो बहुधा शक्तियोगात् वर्णाननेकान् निहितार्थो ददाति विचैति चान्ते विश्वमादौ स देवः स नो बुद्ध्या शुभया संयुनक्तो. Very powerful, useful, important mantra. With every word, every sentence being very valuable. One by one, with Bhashyam straight away. Half of it we saw yesterday. We try to see the whole thing today. What is the topic under discussion is this Atman, the Brahman, the reality, the supreme truth. About him it is said. The mantra starts with Ekaha, so I am commenting on that. Ekaha. This is how Bhashyakara starts his commentary Bhashyam. Bhashyam begins now. What it is said? Yaha Ekaha. That Lord, that Self who is one. What is the meaning of Ekaha? Advitiyaha. So Ekaha is one. One is one. No need to translate it in any language. But to complement it and complete it, Advitiyaha word added by Shankara, Bhagavan, based on the other Upanishads. Therefore, Yaha Ekaha Advitiyaha, one without second. Such one, same type of him is not there other one, and other than him is not there anyone. उनके अलावा और कोई नहीं है, उनके समान और कोई नहीं है ना. यह एकहा means advitiyaha. Feel the meaning of it. That self is one, one without second. That second is same like him or other than him. No. That ekaha advitiyaha. Who is he? Paramatma. Yesterday we have explained Parama Atma. Atma means I. Parama Atma means supreme I, which cannot be made as not I. The other Atmas of the Indra Prana Manabuddhi, during Vivahara, we have Atmiyata with them. But on the spiritual intellectual inquiry, they being Drishyas, they can be said to be in the category of Anatma. Therefore, they are all not Parama Atma. Supreme Self nahi hai wo. They are temporary Vyavaharika. Time we take them as self. But when we inquire through Vedanta, because they are all objects, object cannot be subject, known cannot be knower. Therefore, the knower me the Atman, they cannot be. But there is some self inside us, that is Parama Atma. It is always self only. It cannot be objectified as not self. About that we are talking. And that is, first word is Ekaha means Advitiya. So, Yaha Parama Atma Ekaha Advitiyaha. That Supreme Self which is one without second. Ya Ekaha explained. Ekaha Advitiyaha Yaha Paramatma. That Paramatma is one without second. Okay. Avarnaha. First word is Avarna. So Ekaha Atma Yaha Paramatma Ekaha Advitiyaha Saha Avarnaha. He is Varna Rahita. What is the meaning of varna? Ki jati adi rahita. Remember, varna means varnanat varnaha. Varnana means description. So you cannot describe him. Therefore, he is avarna. Why you cannot describe him? Because the description requires jati adi. Jati means janma. Then the other things of ayuhu, or sorry, jati, varna, guna, kriya, all these things are required for describing something. Yesterday we have exhaustively given the explanation about Manushya, Pashu, Pakshu, Vanaspati are the jati. Then in that dravyas, in that guna, in that kriya, in Paramatma, jati, dravya, guna, kriyatwas are not there. The jati, dravya, guna, kriya are belonging to the Trigunatmika Prakriti Maya. Paramatma is beyond that. Therefore, because of the absence of jatyadi, he is avarnaha, indescribable. So, avarnaha is indescribable because jatyadi rahitaha. Feel the meaning of sentence. So, Paramatma avarnaha jatyadi rahitaha. So, from this side, when you talk about him as the jatyadi rahitaha, from his side, what he can be spoken about as is nirvisheshaha iti artha. No vishesha to him, that he can be varnita. He is nirvishesha, therefore avarna. And nirvishesha, therefore avarna. See, these are the subtler thoughts to be patiently heard with the alert conscious intellect. Therefore, how much we have to struggle through japa adi sadhanas to bring our intellect to that sattva guna sthiti, where it is alert, where it is subtle, where it is sharp, where it is able to grasp that sublime knowledge about the self. And for Uttama Adhikari, who has purified his heart through Viveka Vairagyadi Sadhana Chatushti Sampada, at the time of listening only, the intellect is doing the Manana Chintana inquiry and is just touching the self in his experience. Because what is spoken about in these Vedanta Shastras, the self, is not an object other than me that I have to cross distances to obtain it. And I have to wait for the time to obtain it. And wait for somebody's favor to give it to me. And it is about me. And then how can it take any time? For an Uttama Adhikari, while listening only the experience happens because what is spoken about it is our own self, which is always there. For you and I, the Mandamadhyama Adhikari, first intellectual apprehension, then inquiry and realization. For able to do the intellectual apprehension also, the intellect has to be sharp, etc., Shuddha, etc. For that only the other upasanas we do. So Nirantara with various upasanas, making our intellect sharp and subtler, that's called Drishyate to Agriya Buddhya, Sukshmaya Buddhya, Sukshmadarshan. With that, what is said through these mantras, we have to try to grasp. Yaha Parama Atma Ekaha Advitiyaha Avarnaha Jatyadi Rahitatvat Nirvisheshaha. See, while listening to these words, are we able to feel the meaning of them? After understanding through the intellect? That's called as Shravanam, Mananam, Chintanam. Did we feel the meaning of the word Nirvisheshaha? Non-specific. Avarnaha, non-describable. Parama Atma, supreme reality self. Ekaha Advitiyaha, one without second. So, yaha ekaha avarnaha explained of this shloka. तो श्लोक के एक एक पद को भाष्यकार एक्सप्लेन करते हैं. तो श्लोका फर्स्ट शुड बी इन आवर हार्ट, देन वी टू सी व्हाट मीनिंग टू ईच ऑफ द वर्ड आवर भाष्यकार इज गिविंग. तो यह मीन्स परमात्मा, एकः मीन्स एकमेवा द्वितीयम्, अवर्णः मीन्स indescribable. Why? because jatyadi rahitaha. What is the jati? Jati, dravya, guna, kriya, ityadi are not there in that Brahman. These are all called as Visheshas. They are not there in him. Therefore, he is Nirvisheshaha. Therefore, what do you mean by Avishesh? Avarnaha? Final meaning of the word Avarna is Nirvisheshaha. So, Avarnaha Jatyadi Rahitaha, therefore Nirvisheshaha. Therefore, Avarnaha means Nirvisheshaha. Indescribable is equal to, he is non-specific because he has none of the Jatyadi to describe. That's the difficulty in trying to tell about Paramatma in any way description. That is why he is not an object that way to be even intellectually understood, though it is required. Finally, though it is to be subjectively experienced. Om. Yah ekah avarnah. Okay, next one. Bahudha Shakti Yogat Varnan Anekan Dadat. Bahudha Varnan Dadhati. Avarnaha, but Bahuda Varnan Dadat. He is non-specific Nirvishesha, yet Bahuda, many specific Vishesha, which is called as Varnanya, Dadati, he as if takes up. How he does it? Nana Shakti Yogat. Shakti Yogat. So Avarnaha Shakti Yogat Bahuda Varnan Dadat. Dadati means obtains or takes on himself. So basically the Paramatma is Avarna, Nirvishesha. But he has got his own Shakti to take up on himself, appear himself with Aneka Varna Visheshas, which is called as the whole world now. See the clarity when we consciously, slowly study one by one word. We have tried from last 5 years, 10 or 8 more years it will take for us. If we are this way every day, that we'll get a capacity to be able to understand both the mantra as well as bhashya, and through that, what exactly is conveyed. I am struggling for that while taking class every day. That state of intellect should happen, that the apprehension of the knowledge of the self given through the Shastras and Bhashya is obtained. The comprehension, the apprehension. Once that knowledge is clear, then we know what to seek. We seek that on the seat of meditation. And to make it possible, we live our outer life disciplinedly. We do all our upasanas required to maintain that capacity, ability in our intellect to try to discover that self which is already apprehended. This should happen at least after next 10, 12 years. Hey Brahmo, bless all of us. So the total thought is what? That one Lord who is Nirvishesha takes upon himself variety of Visheshas with his own Maya Shakti. He is Nirvishesha, that remains, but appears to be taking up the Visheshas with his Maya Shakti. So, Yaha Ekaha Avarnaha, then Bahuda goes with Varnan Anekan. Okay, Dadhati. Shakti Yogat is the Karana with his own Shakti. That will be explained by Bhashyakara. Let us see, he says Bahudha means Nana, many, Bahuprakaraihi. Then Shakti Yogat, because of the using of his own Shakti, because of that Vichitra Maya Shakti, Varnan Anekan. Aneka Varnas means, what is the Varnas? Jatyadi. What is the Jatyadi? Vishesha. So therefore, Avarna, Ajatyadi, Nirvishesha, Parabrahma, because of his Shakti, appears to be Savarna, Sajatyadi, Savishesh, which we are seeing. Bahuda, Nana, Shakti Yogat, Varnan, Anekan, Dadati means vidadati. Adau takes up. Right? Now, very, very important thoughts. One is what? Ki, Nana Shakti Varnan Anekan Nihita Arthaha is the word in the main mantra. So, Yaha Ekaha Avarnaha Baudha Shakti Yogat Varnan Anekan Dadati up to this visa. One word is there in between, Nihita Arthaha. What is the meaning of Nihita Arthaha? Nihita Arthaha means Agruhita Prayojanaha. Means what? So Artha Nirapeksha ityartha. So Artha Nirapeksha means for him nothing to be achieved for himself. So Artha means something for me. Swa means my own self. Artha means purpose. Nirapeksha means without expecting, without having any personal purpose. Swartha nirapeksha agruhita prayojana is the meaning of the word nihitartha. Therefore, first point, what is the Lord? Lord is ekaha advitiyaha nirvishesha. Now, what we see the word anekaha advitiyaha savishesha. How come this has happened? That with his own nana shakti yoga, that ekaha avarnaha nirvishesha paramatma only appearing as anekaha savarnaha savishesha without any swaprayojana or purpose. So it is a Shakti expression. It is a Shakti Vilas. Therefore, by doing so, as expressing as the word, he is not losing anything. And by withdrawing himself from all these expressions, he is not gaining anything. That purposeless is the expression of the universe. The Lord expresses as the universe to express his Shakti only without anything having to be gained. हमको क्या पाना है बताओ? Think about it. Pause, think. With this knowledge, when we look at the world in its totality way, the whole universe, the cosmos is expression of the divinity, just expressing his power, that's it. That infinite Paramatma has nothing to lose or gain by doing or not doing. In him, there is no kamana that he has done it. And that's so kamayata bahusyam praja yayeti. In Taittiriya Upanishad, he desired that let me become many. That explanation of Bhashyakara to that sentence, that the Lord's desire is not like our desire coming out of apurnata. Our desire is out of apurnata, that we want to become purna. And his kamana is not there because of the apurnata. From the purnata only, he wanted to express that. Therefore, his desire to express as the world is not binding him like our desires bind us. The desirelessness is called here nihitartha is equal to swartha nirapeksha ityartha. Dadhati means vidadhati iti adau. Adau. Adau means in the beginning of creation. This in the beginning of creation has come in all Upanishads. In the beginning, Paramatma alone is there. He alone with his Shakti expressing as the so many Varnan Aneka. So Nirvisheshaha Jatyadirahitaha Avarnaha Paramatma with his Maya Shakti is expressing as Varnayuktaha Savisheshaha Jatyadi Yuktaha. Ponder over things. As we deeply ponder over it, what we have to catch, we can't catch it. The three things to be caught are Paramatma is always Nirvishesha and Avarnaha. Point one. Point two, he only with his power appearing like that without becoming. Third is in that there is no purpose, no swartha purpose that he has to gain or lose. That concept of gaining and losing is valid only to a limited jiva, or as long as they are valued, we are bound to the jiva bhava. A lot of deep thoughts that are there in this regard. Only one thing we will say. The entire world, the nature, the star, the sun, moon, they have no purpose. They are just there. His only human being has two purposes. One purpose is which is imagined by him of desire fulfillment. The second purpose is he'll have to realize his essential self. The first purpose is samsara, second is moksha, mumuksha purpose. Other than him, why the trees? You don't ask the purpose. Why are they giving the fruits? ये question पेड़ को नहीं होता. Why the wave is waving the waves? Why the winds are blowing? Why the mountains are standing? This whying, why and whiling and how and howling, it is possible to the stupid human intellect only. At one level of our laziness, misguidance, working in wrong direction, we vehemently, strongly, shoutingly say that you must have purpose in life, you must have aim in life, you must have goal in life, you must have vision in life, and you must work towards it. All of that are to awaken us from our laziness and distraction are going in wrong direction. But once all that nonsense is dropped, we are nearing to the self. There is no purpose. Purpose is to be the self. And be the self is not a purpose, it is our actual real nature only. And the same Paramatma, being in the self, expresses as the world with his Maya Shakti. Don't ask him why, it is his power, that's it. He himself has no cause to say, and then how can he answer our question? है ना? जैसे कोई बंदा ऐसा बैठा है, you are thinking about him, that he is thinking something. Then you ask him, यार, why are you worried? He says, I am not worried. But you ask, but तुम तो ऐसे बैठे हो. Same way, you ask the Lord, why have you made the Lord? You made the world, O Lord. We ask him the question. He says, I have no purpose, I just express my Shakti. But that we don't accept because we have purposes in our life. We have goals in our life. At the highest level of wisdom, not now, allowing the divine to express through us is the only purpose. There's nothing to lose, nothing to gain. But right now, though, we have to come to class every day, study the Upanishads, open up our intellects to the presence of the infinite truth or reality, make it as our goal, work towards it through outer and inner sadhanas. ये सारे अभी है हमको. But later on, Bhagavan expresses universe for no purpose. खेल है किसी को. When you play something without purpose, it is krida. When the purpose comes, it becomes spardha. Spardha in Sanskrit is English is called sport. Spardha Sanskrit word is made as sport. In the krida, there is only play. Nobody is loser and winners. There is only joy in playing. Like Krishna and Balaram in childhood, they had lot of kridas, not spardhas. And in krida, all rules, regulations are there. They are followed. Think about it. All these complications, contradictions will be sorted out in our intellect when we apply it, when we sharpen it, when we love our Upanishads, Shastras, and the Gurus and their teachings, and when we want to deeply understand them. ऐसा कोशिश करें तो सारे प्रश्नों का उत्तर मिलता हुआ संशय रहित we know what to do or achieve. After this we have seen sa ekaha ya ekaha avarnaha बहुधा शक्ति योगात वर्णानेकान हितार्थ ददात. Then vichaiti cha ante vishwam, and toward the end of the thing, he only takes the whole vishwam into himself. Saha devaha, the divine Lord, naha buddhya shubhaya suyunaktu. Bless us with shubha buddhi. What is that shubha buddhi? Which understands this truth, which abides in this truth. At the transcendental level, at the eminent level, that buddhi which knows with the upadhis what to do exactly in order not to disturb the totality, contribute to the totality. That's called Shubha Buddhi. Shubha Buddhi should know the essential self beyond everything and get established in it. Shubha Buddhi also should know when we come to the upadhi level what exactly we have to behave in this world. वो वाला शुभ बुद्धि हमको देवे. And then one thought today I'll touch upon which we'll exhaustively explain tomorrow. How come that Nirvishesha Bhagavan will listen to our prayers and answer? That is speciality in him. That in his own essential self is Nirvishesha. But when we as a bhaktas pray to him, he becomes Savishesha and listens with the ears, feels emotionally in his heart, and responds with his powers. To train us in this faith only, we are told to do the worshipping or upasana of the stones. And when the Lord is molded, a stone is molded in the form of the Devata, and by doing upasana, when we pray, how that stone fulfills our demands or desires? Isn't it? That is why it is said that in that stone, it is not a stone, the Bhagavan's prana pratishtha is done. And while doing prana pratishtha, all the Aishwarya Shaktis of the Lord are invoked in that Lord who is now pratishtita in that stone, thereafter which it is not a stone. Looks like stone, but in this Devata, Lord is there with all powers. That is why he is able to fulfill the desires of all bhaktas. है ना? हमको जनरली लगता है भगवान निर्विशेष है तो कैसे आंसर करेंगे? Like the हेतुवादी नास्तिक say, how can the pattar can reply? Is my body also not a pattar? It's also mitti only, no? So when it can become active, dynamic, why not that stone in which we have done Lord's Prana Pratishtha? That doubt we have to sort out. About these 2-3 more thoughts we'll discuss tomorrow. As to when the Paramatma is Nirvishesha, how can he respond to our prayer? Ki buddhya shubhaya sanyunam. This is our prayer. O Lord, yoke us with the Shubha Buddhi. Bhagwan, na? And it was answered already few shlokas back. And Pashyatya chakshu shrunoti akarna. He has no ears, but he has his own way of listening. He has no eyes, but he can see. He has no hands and legs, but he holds and walks. Apani pado jono grahita pashyatya chakshu shrunoti akarna. Then savyati vedyam, he will know also, even though he has no mind. Isn't it? Why are you worried? It is his way. You just extend your prayers. Shruti Mata herself is saying. And in that, add one word, exclusively. Exclusively ask for Shubha Buddhi. Asking for anything other than this is called Ashubha Buddhi. When the Shubha Buddhi is there, you go in Shreyo Marga. Otherwise, go in Preyo Marga and get lost. Like the people, Chuttiya mil gaye from that office work 1 week. No, in that 1 week, when Chutti mil gaye, how many of the people, jitnu chitnu Chutti mila, go for entertainment, enjoyments, picnics, every country घूमने जाते हैं. And how many of them go to an ashram and listen Vedanta? जब मौका ही मिल रहा है छुट्टियों का, फिर उसको साधना के लिए यूज करो ना. साधना भी नहीं हो रहा था when you were busy in the world. But people don't think that. Now छुट्टी मिल गए, अब भोग करने जाता हूँ. Not that छुट्टी मिल गए, let me go to temple, let me go to the guru, let me do little more study meditation. That's called Ashubha Buddhi. Example. Tomorrow we'll discuss more. Om, 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 Om. Om, 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 Om. Om, 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 Om. Om, 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 Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamada Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. गीता का भी थोड़ा ट्राई करेंगे. Come back for Gita study in Hindi.